Hello, my gorgeous Washaya wellness warriors. In today's video, we are going to be talking about how to stop overthinking early pregnancy symptoms. So, if you have been analysing every twinge, every cramp, and focusing on every wipe after you pee, I see you. And here is the reality of pregnancy after loss. After loss, you are just more aware of what your body is doing, and you're doing that because you care. You wouldn't be double checking and ringing up or researching if you didn't care. I know how much having a baby means to you. And now that you're pregnant after the loss, I know how worrying this time is for you. So your body is getting in a more anxious state to protect you from the shock of thinking and feeling and acting as if nothing could go wrong. But here's the thing. You going about this pregnancy as if nothing could go wrong is where you are different. Because if you did, the realization of something that you may need to look at will hit a lot harder. So instead of acting as if and being blissfully unaware of the reality that loss could happen again, just due to the numbers, we prepare. And we prepare in a grounded and intentional way that says, no matter what happens, I am safe, I have a plan, and I am supported. These strategies are ones that I use with my clients, whether they come into my world just to find their feet and splash around in the shallow waters of Washaya, or whether they dive in deep and work with me for a minimum of 90 days in a one-to-one container. So I always recommend to limit your Googling, especially when you are in a state of panic. I am such an information lover. I love consuming information. I love learning new things or learning things that I'm already interested in on a deeper level. So if you want to just be aware of the connections between certain symptoms and pregnancy, by all means, go and Google. But when you are in this state, when you are in this wave of being quite emotional, and rightly so, I'm not taking that away from you, I would just recommend that you limit the Googling to once a day. And then you can put it down and say, okay, I know what I need to know. Now I can focus on my body and actually looking at how I can support myself or support my body and baby moving forward. And that is where I would like your attention to be after the single Google search. Because when you have that energy of how can I help myself, you are actually putting a lot of intentional energy towards the outcome that is going to, it will be the best outcome for whatever is happening with you. So whether you need to call somebody or you need to take a quick trip to the nearest hospital just to get checked over, that should be your priority. So instead of trying to figure things out by yourself, I will always, always, always recommend ringing somebody just to get their professional opinion, or if you need to get checked out, and then you can come back and figure things out depending on what is being said or what is happening in that moment. But first and foremost, get checked to make sure everything is okay, and even if there is anything that needs to be sorted, you are in the best place for it to get sorted as quickly as it can. Okay, so the next one is no comparing pregnancies. So if you have been pregnant before, and I think if you stumbled across this video, I'm going to assume that you have. So please try not to compare the pregnancy before to your current pregnancy. And if you've stumbled across and this is your first one, this is your first pregnancy, and you are thinking about what could go wrong, I still have the same advice for you. Please do not try to compare pregnancies to those of your friends, of family members that you know, of people you watch like on TV, or like if you are following certain influencers. Please try not to compare your pregnancies, because every body is different and every pregnancy is different, and in my world every baby is different, every bump is different, every baby is different. So please try not to compare what you're going through to somebody else who may be on a similar journey to you. And also, if you are around women who are pregnant around the same time as you, try to focus on your own pregnancy. I say this with the best intentions in mind, because then you are focusing on what your body is able to do, and then you are focusing on pouring that nurturing energy into your body and your baby. And then, as a fun little exercise for those of you who really want to learn more about pregnancy and just how it differs from maybe the pregnancy before, or if this is your first one, you can actually really think about the pregnancy in terms of like, what did I learn today? And it might be something to where you're like, oh, I didn't realize that this can happen to women in pregnancy. Now, for me as a doula, I consume a lot of pregnancy and fertility advice and content and baby loss stuff as well. But one thing I absolutely love, and it really does make me chuckle, it's actually listening to there's a creator, and every time somebody has a pregnancy symptom that is quite interesting, there is the girl with the list, and it's one specific creator who's been adding all of these different experiences that women have had with children that have grown up, and these are quite comical usually. And it's just really interesting to see how different bodies are going through a similar experience and just reacting so differently to the pregnancy in question. And I have so much knowledge about the body, the female body, and just like the process of pregnancy. And it's just like, wow, wow, the body really can do so much. So if you are somebody who likes to dive deeper into the into symptoms and you kind of want to make it fun, there are a number of different creators who have their own like spin on different pregnancy facts that make it so that it's lighthearted without feeling too heavy. So actually I will add some of my favorite creators that I love kind of keeping up with, just to kind of add in a bit of variation to how I consume content around this particular area and this on this topic. So thank you ever so much for... Girl, I did not finish that last bit. Girl, hang on. Wait. Okay, so with that being said, I would encourage you and invite you to actually make a list, and it's a what do I know today journal. And what can be very nice and like a really nice way to kind of round off the day is just writing simply, today I am pregnant. That is enough. And just see how the pressure around different symptoms and experiences can be heightened just because of the way that people phrase things, and just how the world responds to things such as specific symptoms. Thank you ever so much for spending time with me today, and until next time, I will see you soon.